Hi everyone, Chillax here and welcome back to another Anchor Panic video. So this week's Union Siege boss on phases 7 and beyond will be Ming, who is a very powerful boss who we have faced once before. I believe maybe the very first version of global release. So it has been several months since we fought her, so I will be going over my personal strategy to defeating her with 3 very powerful teams that I will go over. But before I do so, I just want to briefly touch on technology because someone on Anchor Panic Discord did ask me which of these technologies to level up in order to maximize my score in not only Union Siege but also to perform well in Land Clash, which will be a guild versus guild PvP game mode that will begin their attack phase in 4 days. So with regards to how to level up this technology, I would agree with a lot of you guys that at the start it makes sense to only level up the elements that you actually use. For instance, some of you guys who are newer players who maybe have like nature and ice operators will probably level these two up first, although quantum is generally a universal element that even beginner players who have started within the past week would start leveling up. In my case, because I have been playing since the global launch, the 2 strongest elements, quantum and lightning, are the elements that I tend to focus on. That way the majority of my operators are getting the value from leveling up the stats here. And as you can see, you get very useful stats like HP, attack, defense, and the elemental damage. But in addition to that, the combined tally of all these levels add up to 260 in my case, and every 60 overall technology levels will grant you some premium stat lines, notably crit rate, crit damage, healing boost, shield bonus, and block chance lifesteal. So depending on how far away you are from certain breakpoints, it makes a lot of sense that if you are far away from the next breakpoint, like in my case I'm about 20 technology levels away from getting another crit rate, crit damage buff, so I'm going to prioritize the elements that offer me the most value, which in this case will be quantum and lightning. And when I get like 5 away, I'll probably level up some ice in order to close the gap a bit faster. Okay, so enough about technology. Let's get right to the attack here. So I'll go ahead and do my teams that I have not attacked with yet. So first we're going to go with my mono quantum team, and one thing I would advise is to pay attention to exactly where the boss is positioned, because the more frequently you can have your breakers hit that boss, the better. And in this case, she's focused opposite that tile right there. So I would ideally have my breakers over there. One thing I have to be careful about though is that the boss can do quite a bit of damage, and so for this reason it's a little bit harder to go double breaker, compared to, let's say, Entropy Cataclysm, just because the boss hits so much harder. I'm going to go greedy in the start, but I might regret it and restart depending on how things go. So we'll take it case by case, but I'll go ahead and put my breakers in a linear pattern like this. I'm going to have my tank who is turned. She's on her PvP build, so I'll just stay with that. She'll be the one tanking. I'm curious how this will go. So my thought process is you're going to go double breaker. We're going to go greedy and hope that my level 75 quantum technology will be good enough. Now obviously for the average player, you're going to pick one of the breakers, probably want to keep Newcastle, and you would swap the other one out for a defender flicker for more consistent runs. But I'm going to go greedy at the start, see if I can get away with it. And then you have Strain, who will be on a special set, PvE set, which in this case is going to be a 4-piece Raging Wave, 2-piece attack boost, and I'm going to have her on the World Tree, this one right here, the Luxuriant Origin, and this is the best signature sigil for stacking tons of attack buffs, so that Strain can apply very chonky adrenaline buffs, which basically grant a 36% of her attack onto all her targets that she heals with her energy burst. And with regards to the builds of the other operators, this is going to be 4-piece quantum, 2-piece tenacity, speed, crit rate, and crit damage. And my Ifrit is going to be the exact same build. And then for my Tia, it's going to, I'm just going to go with my PvP build. Yeah, let's just go with that. And everyone's on their signature sigil. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Now, I couldn't... Oh, I probably should have gone over her kit. But let's just see how it goes. I'm a very visual person, so I can read through a wall of text, but you guys probably will tune out, and I probably won't remember what happened. So let's just learn from our experience, shall we? Okay, so we're just going through the motions here, reducing the tenacity gauge of the frontmost enemy. We're going to try to take this mob out as quick as possible. Okay, we took down the first guy. Okay, not bad. We're doing alright. Okay, so attack buffs on everyone. Energy burst. Now everyone's going to do a lot of damage here. Okay, we took down one little mob. Took down another one. We're going to apply adrenaline buffs to everyone. Okay, so now we're going to start breaking the tenacity gauge of Ming, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so she does not do reflect damage. That's good. Now the question is, will we survive her energy burst? This is what I'm really curious about. Ooh, okay, that's kind of scary. But I think we'll be okay. Yeah, so this is the nice thing about having a very high level technology. You can get away with being a little bit greedier. And we are gaining a little bit of HP when we attack thanks to the lifesteal plus 6% from my technology. Now Ming, her tenacity gauge looks like even with double breaker, it takes a bit of time to get my to get the tenacity gauge down. We haven't brought it completely down until round 4. That's insane, guys. Okay, hopefully Ifrit survives. Let's see. Okay, everyone survived. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, the lifesteal definitely helps. Newcastle was able to bring her HP back to full. Okay, so I pretty much can predict what will happen, so we'll go ahead and skip the rest of this. Seems like we'll survive until the end. Okay, so we ended up doing 8.8 mil with this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do another attack. And now we will do an ice team. Okay, so this one, double breaker, Lang Jiao, and Frost Jade. Okay, I'm just gonna reposition these operators a little bit. Okay, and it's focus opposite, so we'll have Frost Jade be the target of the heavy hitters. And I guess we'll have core in the front. Okay, so we'll go ahead and borrow Strain's gear. So this is typically what I do. Okay, and then borrow the world tree as well. Okay, that seems pretty good. So the way this team works is that you have your main DPS Ukali, you have your double breakers Abyssal and Core, and you have your stun operator who can also bring down the tenacity gauge thanks to her freeze. And then we have Frost Jade. So let's go ahead and run this. Oh, and in terms of builds, so this model set you already know: speed, base, attack, attack. And then for Lang Jiao, it's going to be my PvP set: speed, crit rate, crit damage. And then Frost Jade is going to be my Raging Wave set. I think it's base HP and attack, yeah. Her attack buff from Talent 2 scales off of attack. And then Abyssal is your ice/precision build, in order to hopefully land the ice debuff a little bit better. And then you have your full DPS build: speed, crit rate, crit damage. Everyone's on crit rate, crit damage except the healer, so let's go. Now my ice technology is not as leveled, but thanks to Frost Jade's ability to heal and to revive reliably, I'm hopeful that we are never in a position where our allies get completely KO'd, but we'll see. Oh, and actually I probably would fine-tune this a little bit, maybe. Oh, okay, they both ended up hitting the same thing. I typically like my double breakers to attack the same target, and I ended up doing so that's good. Okay, hopefully Core doesn't die on me. Okay, hopefully we land all freezes, let's see. Ooh, everyone got frozen, I think. But did Ming get frozen is the question. I don't think she did. Oh, she did! Yeah, so her tenacity gauge did go down, so that's good. Oh, that's unfortunate though. I might restart for that. Okay. So I was a bit sad about this because Core's energy burst went on the little mob, not Ming. We could have done way more damage, but I mean we got all freezes. I mean that's pretty lucky. It's okay, I'm not gonna sweat it. Okay. And then the boss is going to energy burst. So let's see if we can handle this pretty well. Frost Jade does shield all ice operators, and I think we're okay. Frozen again. Okay, so let's see if we can land our ice resistance down. We do. She has a pretty high chance of doing so with Ascension 6. Let's see if we land the... Oh, okay, so we're landing everything. So if Ukali can crit with her energy burst, that should do a lot of damage. Let's see if we get it. Yep, 352k, that's quite a bit. let's see if we can get the freeze again. Yep, we did, and look at how much the tenacity gauge goes down when we get the freeze. And we get the ice resistance on top, down on top of that, so it's just like the cherry on top. Okay, and then let's get another ice resistance down. Yep, we got it. And the tenacity gauge is completely broken, so we're doing full damage now. See if we can land another. Oh, wow, we're getting so lucky. Okay, now if we can get a crit with the energy burst with Ukali, please. Okay, we critted. Not as high damage, but still good. At least we crit. If she doesn't crit, the damage is so sad. And as a rule of thumb for crit rate to crit damage ratio, I would say that if you can get your crit rate to like 60 to 67% or more, that's pretty darn good. I think realistically is around like 67%. Okay, yeah, we handled this pretty well. Pretty nice team. Okay, we froze every single time. Very nice. We're gonna be a bit shy from KOing Ming, but it's okay. Get the debuff off. And hopefully we bring down the tenacity gauge completely by the time it's Ukali's turn. And we've landed debuffs every single time. Yeah, very beautiful debuffs. Beautiful crits. Yeah, this is essentially almost a perfect run. So, very satisfied with that. Unfortunately, I can't show you the damage report for some reason. Okay, and then the final team I would showcase would be this one right here. And I'd probably put the tank over here. Actually, what I probably would do, my third team was, let me think, it was not Carnissa, it was Rose. Because I typically like to have double breaker. Something like this, where Thunderrock will be the brunt of that DPS who focuses opposite. And then you have double breaker, Ling, Rose. You have your tank / main DPS at the front, tank in the back, Echo in the middle. Actually, you could go something like this too, because if you do it that way, although I think Rose will be focusing the frontmost enemy, which I guess it's okay. That's okay. Actually, this is better because after taking down the front enemy, then Rose will lock onto this enemy to start bringing down the tenacity gauge. But in terms of builds, what I would do... Oh god, hold on. Let me swap to my PvP build. Typically my Echo would be on Strain's build for the purpose of PvE, because you get the base attack, and I'd keep her signature sigil. But I'm not going to do that because I've already completed this run. And then for Abyssalicia is going to be 4-piece lightning, 2-piece attack boost, speed, crit rate, crit damage. And then Rose is going to be our breaker, right? So 4-piece physical, 2-piece tenacity, crit rate, crit damage. And then Thunderrock, this is the special one, 4-piece HP, 2-piece defense, speed, base HP, and defense, because her skill, notably the energy burst, scales off of HP for the shields and defense for the defensive buffs. Okay, and then finally Ling, she's on her breaker build. 4-piece lightning, 2-piece tenacity, speed, crit rate, crit damage. Okay, let's go ahead and do the showcase. And I'm trying to keep this video under 20 minutes, so I'm going to just show you the first round or two. Typically, for a mono lightning team with Abyssalicia, you want her to be bursting almost every single turn if possible. And by the way, if you, for whatever reason, are a newer player and you missed Abyssalicia, that's perfectly fine. You can either run Alice or Carnissa. They are both fantastic lightning strikers. And if you don't have Rose build for whatever reason, then you can opt for another lightning DPS. So, for instance, if I didn't have Rose, I'd probably have Karnus in here. And if I didn't have Abyssalicia, then I'd probably go Alice. And it would be a mono lightning team. Yeah, but this team, if you own every single operator, this is my personal favorite for Lightning, because Lightning only has one breaker in the form of Ling. She's a fantastic debuffer in the form of shock stacking as well as lightning res down, but the problem is that her tenacity breaking is not the best. And so typically you want to run a second breaker in order to be able to do full damage with your main DPS. Yeah. And that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I'll go ahead and skip to show you what the damage overall looks like for this team. Okay, that's actually not very high. Oh, it's because that's the amount of HP she has left. Okay, so anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.